Beautiful. Oh, almost hit your copper over. So, I read the first few lines of this, and that's when I decided to ask you. So, you were serving with these 600 men in the Air Force?
Were they?
Yeah.
Yes, that was our unit. We were airfield construction.
Airfield construction, yeah.
And there was $700. And we went in the Philippines.
Yep.
Actually, first of all, we were over in the Pacific.
Yeah.
And then that's where we went from Australia straight up through the Philippines.
Yeah.
And we put an airstrip down there. And as soon as that airstrip was finished, General MacArthur was building up to get over to the Philippines.
Yeah.
And after we finished that, he put his men into Leyte in the Philippines. And so a week after that, we went over.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to put an airstrip down at Leyte, and it was too wet there. So he still wanted an airstrip because he wants to get back in the last lot of Philippines. So we waited for about 3 weeks till he got a build up of he got in the Leyte and build up, and we went up to Mindoro Island, and Mindoro Island was right alongside the Japanese, and we went in there, and we went in on the 15th of December, 1944. That's when we went into Mindoro.
Yep.
And the Japs were there, and we were here. And so he wanted this airstrip made in 5 days, because he knew the Japs would try and counteract.
And what planes were landing on that airstrip? What type of planes were landing?
Planes?
Yeah, what type did you want for the airstrip?
We didn't have any planes.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Oh, but what was it being built for? Which planes? What style of plane was the airstrip being built for?
Oh, who, like the Americans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not quite sure what they had, but I've got a list of them up here. Somewhere. I'll tell you what they had. I don't know where it is now.
That's okay, don't worry about that. That's more than fine.
Oh, I'd like to tell you. Yeah.
That's it. So they had Mustangs, P-51s,
Yes.
Lightnings, P-38s,
Yes.
Kitty Hawks,
Yes.
Corsairs, Thunderbirds,
Yes.
Black Widows or Night Fighters,
Black Widow, the
Yeah.
night fighter.
Night Fighter,
Yeah.
B-26, B-25s,
Yeah.
Boston Bomber,
Yeah.
and the Mitchell Bomber, the Liberator, and the Fortress. Yeah,
I
fantastic.
had a few there, didn't I?
Yeah, lots. Do you mind if I just read through this first?
Yeah, all right.
Because that's what you originally told me to do. I didn't get all the way through. Few Australians would be aware that during World War II, nearly 600 Royal Australian Air Force personnel, known as 3 Airfield Construction or 3 ACS, were committed to serve under the United States Army Command. Poorly armed and without a day's training for such an action, 3 ACS landed day one front line with the Americans on Mindoro Island, Philippines, on the 15th December 1944. Resistance from the island was light, but the sky was on fire and the ground bubbled with bullets. It was here was lost what said to be the first Australian serviceman killed in the defence of America. There were 336 air raids in 14 days, and the island was shelled from the sea. An attempt was made to land enemy troops behind the Allied forces, the Japanese troops landing straight into the American army, an undescribable sight. In the wait for an attack, the orders were, the land is to be held at all costs. The cost was never counted. Tokyo Rose on world radio described the inland as a sea of fire. The 600 Australians under these conditions worked their guts out, non-stop, day and night, building aircraft strips with little or no sleep. The United States Army units defended them with all they could give, and many paid the supreme sacrifice. Mindoro airfields played a major part in the recapture of Luzon and Manila. 3 ACS were under constant attack from the first day at Leyte, and the members were witness to gun battles at sea against ships protecting convoys heading to Mindoro. The smoke from the gunfire was so thick you could hardly see. With ships being sunk, burnt from stem to stern, the vibrations of depth charges exploding could be felt on the land. The bombing and strafing was rough, but the suicide bomber was just as lethal. Ships in convoy could not stop to pick up survivors because once they'd stopped, the ships were considered a sitting target. Some 3 ACS personnel contracted a medical condition while they had a tropical disease called schistosomatitis. What's the medical condition called? It says 600 Australians. What was I reading? The 3 ACS personnel contracted a medical condition.
Oh yeah.
A disease called, what's that word?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. Do you know the word?
Yeah. Okay.
Just there.
Schistosomosis. Schistosomosis.
That's a lot better than I would have done. Which may well have cost years of life. Much time elapsed before treatment began. The affected men were very sick, and the first treatment was not too successful. Unbelievable, unreal, and butchery. The drone of the enemy aero engine and the rattle of the bomb release on those warplanes can never be forgotten. For the record, 600 Australians committed to serve under American command in 1944 may have been the first ever done so. After 50 years, they received the Liberation Medal from the Philippines government, and we applaud them. The plaque on the monument erected in the San Jose Rotary Club on the actual site where 3 ACS landed on 14 December 1944.
I always remember that.
Yeah.
The 4th of December.
Yeah.
1944.
Yeah. On these shores hallowed by the blood of Allied heroes, the forces' liberation of the Western Viersen Task Force under General William C. Dunkel made the historic landing on this very spot, December 15, 1944, making possible the liberation of the entire Mindoro Island and second in the Philippines to be liberated. What a story.
What's that on your...
The American flag?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got gifted a coin and this shirt and some other stuff. The SVA stands for Student Veterans of America.
Oh, yeah.
So serving in Afghanistan with both the Americans and British, and then we're having some medical issues when I got home. These guys reached out to me to offer support. So, yeah, it's just a lot to do with them about supporting young veterans.
Oh, yeah. I've got American, what do they call them? I forget what they are now. Carry luggage in.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one down there.
Yeah.
I must have given them, Americans, something.
Yeah.
And they gave me that. I'll show you later on.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Love to.
And yeah, so and on this, on the what was it, the 8th, 15th, we landed there, And then on the 26th of December, 1924, the Japanese sent in a naval force to kick us out. And I was a driver, and I've been driving all day. And then we got message to say the Japanese are sending in what's the name? Well, I just said it and I can't think of it. A naval force.
Yeah.
And so we had to be the second line of defence. We had our 303s and ammunition and all that.
Yeah.
You know? And the Americans, of course, were on the front line.
Yeah.
So at 9 o'clock on the 15th of December, 9 o'clock, the first Japanese naval force started firing their I've got it written somewhere. I'll let you read it.
Yeah, I'd love to. So the Japanese Navy, firing their guns into your position.
26th of December.
26th of December. So this was about a week and a bit after you guys had landed.
Yeah, we came in on the 15th.
Yeah.
And the 20th. Yeah.
26th? Yeah. Yeah, so you've been in 5 days at sea. An airfield construction squadron, that's you guys, the ACS, having to build in 5 days.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, if you could. I'm not as good at reading handwriting. Younger
It's
generation.
my writing,
Trust me, mine's worse.
The 26th of December 1944 until the 27th. As an airfield construction squadron and having to build one in 5 days, it was all go, go, go. It was 3 shifts under continual interruptions, especially at night. On the 26th of December 1944, we were told at 5 p.m. that a Japanese naval force of 2 battleships, 4 cruisers, 8 destroyers and 15 ships were approaching Mindoro Island, expecting to reclaim the island. I should have mentioned before, we landed on Mindoro Island at daybreak on the 15th of December 1944, and we had our airstrip completed in 5 days. General MacArthur gave his commanding officer, Brigadier General W.C. Dunkel, order to have the airfield completed so he could build up his air strength against Japanese attack. General Dunkel's boat was sunk on the way to Mindoro and he was floating around until being picked up. At 9 p.m. on the 26th of December 1944, the Japanese started firing star shells which lit up the whole area, including our airstrips. Our unit, number 3 ACS, was on the second line of defence. The Japanese used white traces in their ammunition, while we and the Americans used red. In seconds, the sky was alight with red and white explosions. This went on for 4 hours. They were also firing high explosion and dropping phosphorus bombs. A number of our drivers volunteered to deliver bombs and ammunition to the American planes and also drop off American Marines to where the Japanese troops had landed. After losing the 2 warships, they fled. That we're talking about the Japanese there. One morning, an American cargo ship was anchored in the harbour in from Leyte overnight, loaded with ammunition and fuel. 3 kamikazes came in from Luzon, and one got through the fire barrage and dived into the cargo ship, which just dissolved. There was nothing left with it. We were 3 miles away and was hit with the concussion. That boat was in the harbour there.
Yeah.
They came in overnight and anchored, and these Japanese, 4 of them came in, and 3 of them got through. No, 3. There was only 1 got through, and he dived straight into the ship, and it was just one huge explosion. That's all it was.
Yeah.
There was nothing left.
Yeah.
You interested in any of this stuff, like?
Oh, I'm interested in all of it. It's incredible stories. That's the reason when I first got here, I asked if we could record it, because these stories are sadly sort of being forgotten. With you mentioned your brother, made to 99 and 6 months, and there's many others, and I just hate for these to end up forgotten history.
Yeah. Well, it's got written down underneath there. You can turn them over as you...
Yeah, I'd love to.
And,
So this was 3 ACS, the Australians?
Yeah.
Putting a ramp for the door of the LST, landing ship something, I'm guessing.
Do you want me to read it
Oh,
out?
no, it's fine.
You all right?
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Yeah, that's
Cruiser can be seen. Oh yeah, the cruiser can be seen in the distance. Yes, you can see. I'm guessing an Allied cruiser in the distance, a naval cruiser. Back in here. Convoy under attack. Some of our gunfire can be seen. Top left, escaping enemy, in the middle right. Yeah. So escaping enemy boat and plane by the look of it. Well, there's flak fire. Do you know who took these photographs? Who took the photos?
Right. Right. My son. It's all right, I only got a bit of stuff. Ken's brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, that's the monument. Yeah. I love the what it said on that first document you gave me, which is on the monument. On these shores hallowed by the blood of Allied heroes, the forces of liberation, led by components of the Western Essen Task Force under General William Duncan, made the historic landing in this very spot. It's incredible. What great photos.
Some of these here, some.
Very good chaps. Yeah, you can definitely tell who the Australians and the Americans are, can't you? You can change the uniform and everything.
One of the first come up, and I was on that LST.
Yep. Yeah. So you're involved in taking this bulldozer off that landing ship. And are these spots, is this gunfire or just, there's gunfire? Spots? Yeah.
When we were going up on the boat,
see the planes are in your ships. Yeah, this was the one I was looking at before. You can see the escaping enemy.
Ray gave me that one.
Ah, yeah. I think one of the most historic photos of all time sighting the peace treaty. That a lot of Japanese soldiers, from what I've heard, didn't believe that they'd ever actually surrender.
Yeah. I'll just have a quick look through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on that one.
180 ships in the convoy. Torpedo boats, battleships, cruisers, aircraft carriers and destroyers. You can just see them all spotted through the ocean, can't you? And you can tell all the Australians, you can see all the slouch hats. Yeah, the American Marines have just landed. Well, yeah, you can see the Marines on the beach as the Australians are coming in to unload.
See that back there?
Yep.
2 American ships blown up by Japanese.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, 2 suicide Japanese pilots crashed into 2 LSTs out in the bay, 2 American ships. Geez, you had a lot of equipment, didn't you? Well, I guess you had, 5 days to build the airfield. Yes, what an effort.
I think you've seen most of this. You've seen that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did see that one. I love that.
Yeah. And some of our boys. Some of our boys walking along the beach. Yeah, I think.
I love how Australian it is, just being some of the lads walking on the beach to take up their positions. Nothing's changed. Everyone's just lads and boys and everything within defence.
Yeah, I think we've seen all of it. Now, when we was we got a good. Now I want it completed. Hang on. Do you want one of these?
Oh, I'd love one. If you've got copies, yeah, I'd absolutely love one. Thank you. It's going to go on my wall at home.
Now, I think we've seen most of this here. Now, yeah, I've seen all that. Now, when we was going up from Lady to Mindora in this convoy, the LST I was on with a couple of others, we were supposed to go down in the cabins.
Yep.
But 2 or 3 would like to get up the top and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And anyway, there was a Japanese what was it? Japanese plane.
Japanese Zero?
No, he was about just above the waves.
Okay, yeah.
And he had what's the name's on to blow up whatever he could. And had what do you call them? Go through the water.
A torpedo?
Yeah, torpedo. He had torpedoes on, and he was only about 150 yards out, right above the water. He was going south toward where all the boats were, and we were going north. And when he got just level with us, the gunners on our LST opened fire on him, and they got him, and he went straight into the water, you know. And then another Japanese plane come in. He was high, and he was after an American what is think of it a minute. A light plane, a light ship. What do you call it? American ship. Not a battleship, but something down that.
Yeah, like a cruiser or
Yeah, something like
yeah.
that. Yeah. And the Jap plane was coming down, and when they're up that high, you can't really tell whether he was going back for that destroyer or coming to us.
Yeah.
But he was going for the destroyer. And next thing, the American pilot, he gave word to the destroyer. They said, leave it to me. And because he was right in the Japs' so he got him and he went into the sea, you know, just beyond. Yeah, so now when after that Japanese came in on that night destroyer, we were out with the on the second line of defence, and so when we went about 3 o'clock in the morning, when we went back to our camp, there was a Japanese plane dropped four shells, 4 bombs, and so we all went back to our tents, and we had to get up again to go on our have 2 or 3 hours rest, then go again on the and I went outside, just outside our tent, and I said to my corporal, I said, come and have a look at this, sis. So about 6 feet out from our tent, the Japs dropped 4 bombs. 3 of them went off, and the 4th one it was just outside our tent.
Oh, God.
So I said to Cess, I said, come and have a look at this.
Yeah.
So you never seen 4 joggers empty a tent, so it's quick. Yeah, and we went down the other end at the camp. But they got good things and bad things. And after a while, you didn't seem to take a lot of money, a lot about it all. You know, there's bombs going, and this is going, and something else is going. And we were lucky; we only lost one of our men. And Sess Mumby, he was from just out here at not far but out here in the suburbs, and he was driving a truck, and he was coming down, because all the trucks went on the top, all the lighter stuff went up on the top, and all this heavy stuff went down on the end of it. And Sess and a lad from Tasmania were coming down, and as they got down near the right to the beach, or the kamikaze was coming down starving, and Fred stopped, and the lad jumped out, and he got underneath the cabin, but the cabin has no protection whatsoever, so the kamikaze had a shell right through his chest, you know. And Fred ran around the back of the truck, because they had all the gear written on it, and he just got a bit of blood and that running down his face and that. He didn't get anything really bad.
So from the kamikaze?
Straight in.
Yeah. So the kamikaze was,
Mm.
I'm just trying to piece that together. So he got blood on him from the kamikaze pilot or from?
The kamikaze.
Yeah.
What?
So they're in the truck, and one of the lads is underneath the truck.
Mm.
The other lad, as he jumped out, gone around the back,
Yeah.
and then the kamikazes landed.
Yeah.
And-
Kamikaze was just firing as he came
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. And because he was too close to the LST.
Yep.
And too quick, it all happened too quick, and that's all that happened. This lad got killed, and Fred got shrapnel from it.
Yeah.
But he was all right. Yeah. But when we was ready to go, about 3 weeks, they told we were going to, cause we were going to come back to Borneo, and the Americans had already started to go up into what is it? They were on their way there. I can't think of it now.
That's okay.
Just above where we were. So we used to have 3 Americans come into our tent every night. Every night we'd come in for about a month, you know, and a lot of bullshit going on all the time, you know. And anyway, so the night before that we were ready to go, to get up and go, and the Americans said, "God damn, Lolly, we'll give you a send-off,
Yeah.
and can you get any Aussie beer for us?" And we said, "Oh yeah, the corporal said, yeah, we'll do that for you," because they'd pay £5 for a bottle of beer. So about 3 weeks before, I was getting 2 bottles. What's the name? The corporal was getting 2 bottles, and the driver, he was getting 2 bottles.
Yeah.
So we'd hide them in your luggage stuff, you know. And so when the night came to send us off, we were in our tent, but what American tents, you know. And so everything went all right, you know, until about 10:30. And Fred Penkelly, he was a wild man, he was a big man, and the little American were having this few words to each other. And Fred said to the little American, he said, the only thing you had in your hand is a pencil or pen, you know. And apparently this American was saying how he used to hand-to-hand fighting. And so Fred said to me, he said, "Oh, get your gun out." Because we were in one of those big Americans, you know. Get your gun out. I got it out. He said, now put your bonnet, put your, what's the name on it?
Bang.
Yeah. I thought, hell, what's going on here? So Fred already got his bayonet and that ready. Now he said to the little American, like, get back to the door, get back to the door where you come in. And Freddie, he's up his end. And then he said to the little American, right, charge. So the little American coming with his bayonet, my bayonet on his gun, coming towards Fred. And when they got right together, Freddie, what they call it, hit mine on it, went straight up through the tent, rained like a bastard outside. And and that little American said to me, well, gang up on him. I said, I'm not ganging up on him. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, they all came back to see us off when we went off. Anyway, so I didn't worry them very much, but but they always remember that when they when they get back home. But well, they were fairly good to us, the Americans. Good. But yeah. Yeah, what else was it? Yeah. Oh.
Thank you so much for sharing all this with me. It really is amazing.
I had I got I'll get it. Of course. Said that our unit didn't get much with our jokers, but they, because we were with the Americans,
yep.
And so I was going to send that in because they have some mail in the what do they call it?
That's okay. So you've seen the subject of the message is recommendation for a notorious service plaque to the Commanding General of the Task Force in 23rd of January 1945. I recommend that the Notorious Service Unit plaque be awarded to the 3rd Airfield Construction Squadron, RAAF, for the superior performance and outstanding devotion to duty, performance, the exemption, performing difficult, outstanding devotion to duty, performance of exceptionally difficult tasks, with an assigned mission of constructing with the 1874th Engineered Aviation Battalion, the original runway and its dispersals at Hillfield, Victoria, Philippines. This construction squadron, with less personnel and equipment than an engineer battalion, kept pace in all respects with the stronger outfit with which it was working. Men and officers combined with the enthusiasm and intensity of purpose to raise the production level of each man and each piece of equipment so they should not fall behind. The efforts were so successful that the original deadline of having the strip in operation within 5 days was successfully met. The squadron continued its extremely high standard of performance and by extraordinary devotion to its duty kept the output per man and equipment at a very high level. Its work was accomplished despite enemy action, which was at times severe, work under extreme blackout conditions, including the continuation of work during alerts until the last possible moment of comparative safety. Recommended Award 3rd ACS RAAF for superior performance and outstanding devotion to duty. But, on 23rd of Jan. Was engaged in construction of Hillfield on the Durham behalf. Despite shortages in personnel and equipment, and in the face of enemy air attacks, this unit maintained a production record which would have done credit to a far larger and better equipped organisation. All tasks assigned were accomplished in a highly efficient and outstanding manner. In the performance of this mission, all personnel cooperated with enthusiasm, and the appearance of personnel and installations was of the highest. That was from J. Ellison, Colonel, Task Force Engineer.
Yeah, I thought perhaps if I gave them the short one to put in the paper.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the one with the
local paper? You want? I'm sure someone would.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is now. No, it's not there.
Okay.
I put things away sometimes, I forget where I put it.
I do the same.
But, oh no, so goodness knows where it's all going to finish up now, the way it is.
With the virus and everything around.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. It's something we've never seen before.
It is, yeah.
It's a lot of the stuff the government has to call in is, the sort of stuff the government called in these times. It's a warlike situation. Demanding organisations to make different equipment than they normally do, and people not allowed to leave the house.
They reckon back in World War One there was a touch of it, but not like it is now. But
No, it's a major concern, but as long as you're keeping yourself safe. While I'm here, is there anything you need from the shops or anything or more than? Is there anything you need from the shops or out or anything I can go and get for you?
What the shops?
Yeah, do you need anything? Because I'm more than happy to go get it. Have you got enough stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
They come in 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 women. They come in every one woman at a time at Tuesday. She comes in, and I've got I made up a list. I made up a list for them, and I'll just give her that.
Yeah.
And they know what to do. I've got it written down here, and then how many I want.
Yeah.
And they're quite pleased with that. And, yeah, so that keeps me going.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And I've got one of the chappies down at work, here when we were working, down at Pope Products, and one of the chappies, there was about 3 of us, not every weekend, but we would go over to York Peninsula and do some fishing. And anyway, their daughter, they only had the one child, the daughter.
Yeah.
And she did a little bit of running around for me if I wanted, And she's even run around out of something for that tooth. And
Yeah.
But no, she's about 34, I think now, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll leave you with my number in case you need anything. I live just down in Semaphore on the beach.
Yeah.
So I'm only 15 minutes away if you need anything. It's more than fine. Thank you so much for running me through this stuff. It's amazing what guys have been through and what they've done. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm Matt Williams. I partied my way through high school. I joined the army straight out of school as a rifleman. I deployed to Afghanistan for 8.5 months as a crew commander at 20 and turned 21 over there. I've travelled the world twice, jumped from planes, dove under the sea, drank from shoes in over 20 countries, and I regret nothing. Returning home, in a regular doctor's checkup, I was diagnosed with an incurable, inoperable brain tumour on my 22nd birthday. Since then, I've made it my mission to enjoy my life as much as I can and show that terminal illness doesn't mean your life can't be successful, meaningful, and fucking awesome, whilst putting in as much effort as I can to raising money for brain cancer research. 12 months of chemo done, 60,000 plus donated to research, and I'm fucking happier than ever. This is my story of refinding my health and redefining terminal illness and smiling through it all.